मनो येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण. So now we are today beginning the third chapter of Bhagavad Gita that is called as Karma Yoga. So yesterday we completed the second chapter and we had also seen the acronym which is there for third chapter. So what is the acronym for third chapter?
Tree.
Tree. So T stands for, first T is for
Tyaga.
Tyaga. R for
Rangas, the yoga ladder.
yeah, rungs of yoga ladder. E for
Exemplary,
exemplary. And last E for
enemy of the soul.
yeah, Guruji, enemy of the soul. So there are mainly four topics which are going to be discussed here. So we know that Supreme Personality of Godhead Shri Krishna, he has very elaborately described. He has given a very beautiful description about the Atma in the previous chapter. He spoke about so many topics. If you can just recollect, okay, can you just recollect quickly what all things came in second chapter? May not be in sequence. Dhar 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 dhar. You can just write in chat box or because second chapter is called as contents of Gita summarized. So what all different things you quickly remember that fat you can just write down or speak also no problem. That okay, need of guru. Kaushik Pro is telling need of guru came in the in case you know the shloka number also then that would be much more better because we are supposed to be bhakti.
Sankhya Yoga.
Please. Okay, Sankhya Yoga. Okay. Bhakti Shastri means ideally, you know what? Bhakti Shastri means we are trying to become Bhakti Shastri. Means you should quote left and right. Okay, in this number, in this purport, in this. He's like a lawyer. So, although we are not become lawyers, we are trying to become Bhakti Shastri. So, Bhakti Shastri means very, okay, how we fall down. Okay, thank you, Akshay Prabhu. Yes, next. Analytical study of soul detachment offering fruits to Krishna. Okay, thank you, Sanket Prabhu. And any other devotees, whatever came in second chapter, you remember faintly, remember
Sthit,
little, remember.
Sthit Pragya.
Sthita
Verse,
Pragya, yeah, that
yeah,
was
verse number 54 to 72.
yeah, very full. So big section that was Sthita Pragya. Thank you, Proji. And anything else?
Nishkam Karma Yoga, Sakam Karma Yoga.
Nishkam Karma Yog, Sakam Karma Yog. Okay, thank you. Good point. Anything else?
Two kind of duties, Prush. Then
Two
after
kinds of
performing
devotees. Which one?
duties,
Ah,
Swadharma and
Swadharma and Sanatan Dharma. Okay, thank you.
so after performing these two duties, Krishna also explains how one becomes Atmaram.
Hmm.
And then all that of Sthita Pragya begins.
Yes, bro. So Kaushik Pro is also saying uh, one-pointed intelligence. Yeah, Vyavasayatmika Buddhi. Okay, thank you. Ashish Pro is telling Ya Nisha Sarvabhutanam. What is a night for a living entity? What is that is metaphor? Vivek Pro is saying Kalaibyam mas magma. Okay. Karthik Bro is saying secret of controlling the mind and senses. Okay, there are many devotees who are not yet speaking. That is the reason I want them to speak. Sometimes I'm confused whether only few people are there or how many people are there in this course. Only 8 or 10 people only, I think max to max, they respond. So we are saying control of senses like tortoise. Attraction and aversion are both are dangerous. Thank you, Kunal bro. At attraction. So at least I'll get to know that at least one point was understood from second chapter or not. So because there are many participants, and if they mention, then they are in the same page. Okay. Anyone else? Sahil Pro saying, don't attach to the flowery word of Vedas. Ya Imam Pushpitam Vacha. That don't get too much influenced by the flowery words. They are just like maska mar rahe wo. They are cheating you. Okay, thank you. Then Sakam Karma Yog, Nishkam Karma Yog, Rohit Pro is telling. Okay, thank you, Prabhu. And anything else? Because it is a very huge chapter, 72 shlokas we studied, and huge information. Any other point to remember that Krishna is highlighting that Arjuna's bodily weakness. Bodily weakness? Arjuna was bodily weak, huh? Okay. So soul and super soul. Okay. Transcendent the dualities of this world. How to transcend. Sukheshu najignamana, dukheshu. How Sita Pragya will walk and talk and eat and sleep. Bhasha, Asita, Vrajita. Thank you, thank you. This is also perfect. So this was a huge, huge chapter, 2.72, which was coming. So almost entire Gita was summarized into this. So Vyavasayatmika also means business. Thank you, Ashish Prabhu, for that point. That one should be like business minded, very pakka in intelligence. About soul, Ashcharyavat. Some people speak of soul as amazing, some people discuss about amazing, and very few people because soul is amazing. Soul cannot be cut, burned. Okay, this all now related to those shlokas. So now, because so much knowledge was spoken, just imagine. नाउ आई एम आस्किंग ऑल ऑफ यू कि क्या क्या बताया तो थोड़ा डिफिकल्ट पड़ रहा है रिकलेक्ट करने को भी मीन्स श्लोका देखना पड़ता है रेफर करना पड़ता है नोट्स देखना पड़ता है तो अर्जुन के लिए भी so much knowledge almost entire Gita was given in the second chapter and now again Arjuna got confused. Arjuna gets confused by I'm little confused, so many things you told, so many things you told. So it is we have to tell sometimes when we feed people so much knowledge, then they don't understand even one point also. Generally, we have we have understanding is okay. If I feed too much, then at least something you will take. But many times people have an opposite experience. So much is given that they don't carry anything. So he said, tell little less, but tell me clearly what is to be done. So very beautifully, the description of soul was given in the previous chapter. And the main reason the soul knowledge was given in the second chapter was that to make Arjuna free from the lamentation or the bodily consciousness. Then another path which was being mentioned was Buddhi Yoga or Krishna consciousness. So sometimes you can do an experiment. If you see so many shlokas, Buddhi Yoga, Buddhi Yoga, Buddhi Yoga, especially the last 33 shlokas mein 10 times Buddhi Yoga is coming. Buddhi word, Buddhi word, Buddhi word, Buddhi, Vyavasayatmika, Buddhi, Ek Buddhi. So many times this Buddhi word is coming. So Arjuna started thinking that okay, Buddhi is very important. Buddhi. Although Krishna said Buddhi Yoga, not Buddhi. But Arjuna captured the word Buddhi. Okay, Buddhi is very important. Means intelligence. Intelligence means Jnana. So Arjuna misunderstood Buddhi Yoga to be Jnana Yoga. Although it was mentioned, Buddhi Yoga is Krishna consciousness. So sometimes people, devotees also misunderstand Krishna consciousness. As a devotee, we may misunderstand that okay, I have to give up everything. I have to go into seclusion from this place, and I can just chant all this. Sometimes even many people also say in ISKCON there is too much management, Baba. This is too much management. I have come here for doing bhakti, Baba. I have come here to remember Krishna, pastimes of Radha, Krishna, Govardhan, Vrindavan, and in what I am doing, all this manager and this and that. Am I reducing my upadhis or am I increasing my upadhis? Sometimes you come to us, you become one in charge, then two in charge, and third in charge, and this many projects and that project manager. मैं भक्ति कर रहा हूँ कि कॉर्पोरेट लाइफ जी रहा हूँ Sometimes even this question may come: am I reading bhakti? Ideally, I should be simple person. I should be like a sadhu, or I should be just chanting somewhere. So it is said that's why, unless one is very nicely trained in philosophy of Krishna consciousness, it is not advisable for such person to just imitate like a Babaji, go and cheat. And because generally our mentality is we will many to get some name, want to get some name and fame and admiration from the innocent people. So here we find Arjuna also thought that Krishna consciousness or advancement in spiritual life is something give up the materialistic life altogether. Go to the secluded place and practice lot of tapasya. That was our understanding of Arjuna. So basically, Arjuna wanted to give some or other excuse to avoid fighting. Like sometimes, if you don't want to do certain seva, like let's say certain devotees asked that Prabhu, can you do this bhoga offering? Then he may find out so many reasons, because if you are determined to not, if you feel that no, I don't want to do this seva only, then there can be many excuses. Oh Prabhuji, my dhoti kurta is not fresh. Then somebody may say, okay, Prabhuji, I will give you dhoti kurta. Can you do the offering? Oh, actually, Prabhuji, no, I have to take a lot of water passing and medicines and this, so I will not be fresh. Third, Prabhu, this is the issue. Actually, today the cook has not proper offered with proper consciousness, so I cannot offer. So many hundreds of reasons he can give just for avoiding his service. So here we find basically Arjuna does not want to fight, and he is feeling that fighting is little not good. So here he wants to adopt the path of Jnana Yoga. He says, I am qualified for Jnana Yoga. So just a quick mind map of this entire chapter. So if you see what is there in this chapter, I'm just sharing in the terms of small photo. This, in case you're Subodhini also displays this photo. Just see this one. You're able to see the screen, bro?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So here you see. So first and second shloka of the third chapter, Arjuna has a confusion whether renunciation is better or action is better, because he misunderstood the second chapter. He thought ki maybe I should go for renunciation, but Krishna also speaks so much about action, karma yoga, nishkam karma yoga. So Arjuna is getting confused in first two shlokas. He is expressing his confusion. Then Krishna starts speaking, and Krishna tells Arjun, renunciation is very difficult. So perform action with detachment. And in case you feel Karma Yoga is also very difficult for you, don't worry for Karma Yoga then. You go for Karma Kand. So basically, the entire step, how one should step by step progress from Karma Kand to Karma Yoga, is being mentioned in the 3 to 16 shlokas of this third chapter. So, but Arjuna may think, no, 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 don't think that renunciation is difficult for me. Actually, it is much more easier for me. Renunciation is very easy for me. I don't think that I want to go for karma yoga, karma kand. I'm very qualified for renunciation. So then Krishna says, okay, Arjun, even if you're qualified for a renunciation, you should still do Nishkam Karma Yoga, just to set the right example for the society, because people will misunderstand if you, because you are a great warrior, and if you are doing this and suddenly you take a sannyas, and people will misunderstand. So he said you still do. So yadyada acharati sreshtas. And Krishna also explains generally it is not so easy to go for this karma renunciation. So it is not generally very easy, because if somebody just goes for this, then he may end up in become a mithyachari. Mithyachari means a hypocrite. So he will become a hypocrite, or he will become a dramebaj. He will not do bhakti, he will do a drama. So he said, you do Nishkam Karma Yoga. Then in the last section, 36 to 43. So Arjuna is going to ask question, Athak kena prayoktam. What is that, Krishna? That even I know I don't want to do something. I know I want to act in certain manner, but I'm forced to act in a wrong manner. Arjuna got this question that Krishna, I know that I want to follow you. I want to follow your good advice, and I want to follow your obey and instructions the way you act. But still, despite of knowing what is good, what is bad, I am forced to do something wrong. So what is that? So the last eight shlokas they discuss on this topic of that is lust only. It is lust which forces a person, despite of his intelligence, to commit wrong activities. So that is a brief overview of this third chapter of Karma Yoga. Okay. So the first two shlokas they are dealing with Arjuna's renunciation or action. Okay, let's go and read. First one. Arjuna Uvacha Jayasi Chet Karmanaste. You are able to see the shloka? No. No.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Arjuna Jayasi Chet Karmanaste Mata Buddhi Janardana Tat Kim Karmani Gore Mam Niyojayasi Keshava.
Correct.
Oh,
Translation.
Arjuna said, O Janardhan, O Keshava, why do you want to engage me in this ghastly warfare if you think that intelligence is better than fruitive work?
Okay, so we almost read this. I just discussed this. So basically, Purport is talking about this only that Arjuna he wanted to go to secluded place and do japa and all those things. He thought that Buddhi Yoga means retirement from active life, that is going to secluded place. That was an understanding of Arjuna. He wanted to avoid fighting, and that is the reason he. But only one very good qualification of Arjuna is he's a very sincere student. So he placed query that he wanted to clarify his understanding, and that's why this begins. Okay, we'll read the next one. Vyamishreneva vakyena buddhimoya shiva me tadekam vada nishchitya yena shreyoham apnuyam. So here he says about व्यामिश्रेणेव वाक्येन. तुमने इतना सब कुछ बताया ना, मैं कंफ्यूज हो गया हूँ, मैं मोह में पड़ गया हूँ फिर से. एकम वद मतलब एक बताओ. एकम वद, द्विवद मत करो, दो चीज मत बताओ. एकम वद, जस्ट टेल मी ओनली वन एंड दैट टू निश्चित्य. ज्यादा कंफ्यूज मत हो जाओ, ज्यादा कंफ्यूज मत करो मुझे, एकदम क्या करना है बताओ, मैं बहुत कंफ्यूज हो जाता हूँ. सो एकम वद, राइट. एंड निश्चित्य ये न श्रेयो हम आपनुयम, जो मेरे लिए सबसे बेस्ट होगा, जो मेरे लिए श्रेय होगा वो बताओ. ओके, यस प्रो, रीड दिस विजित प्रो.
My intelligence is bewildered by your equivocal instruction. Therefore, please tell me decisively which will be the most beneficial for me.
ओके, परफेक्ट.
In the previous chapter, as a prelude to the Bhagavad Gita, many different paths were explained, such as Sankhya Yoga, Buddhi Yoga, control of the senses by intelligence, work without fruitive desire, and the position of the neophyte. This was all represented unsystematically. A more organized outline of the path would be necessary for action and understanding. Arjuna therefore wanted to clear up these apparently confusing matters so that any common man could accept them without misinterpretation. Although Krishna had no intention of confusing Arjuna by any jugglery of words, Arjuna could not follow the process of Krishna consciousness, either by inertia or by active service. In other words, by his question, he is clearing the path of Krishna consciousness for all students who seriously want to understand the mystery of the Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah. So if you see here that Arjuna, as an intelligent person, he wants systematic study. Like in case of our preaching also, sometimes we don't give very systematic teaching to the people, and they may take to Krishna consciousness. Like once a survey was done, and okay, now let's do survey here only. All of you can just tell what was the reason that you came to Krishna consciousness as a student or as a this. Let's take a quick poll of, you can write that what was the main reason that you got connected to bhakti And what was the most inspiring point for you? Just take. Okay, Abhinandan Pro is telling Prasadam. From Megaraj Pro is telling Prasadam. And respect which devotees give to each other. Okay. Association. Prasadam and loving devotees. Haribo. Lifestyle. Ishwar Prabhu is attracted by the lifestyle of the devotees. Sanket Prabhu is by association. And association was very congenial. Okay. And what are the different reasons by which people get attracted? Mainly association. Okay. Association for higher purpose. Prasadam and genuineness. Utkarsh came given by Radheshyam Prabhu. Haribo. Jai. Raman Prabhu was attracted by Kirtan and Prasadam. Jai Jai. Dealings of devotees, full of respect, regulative lifestyle. And why this will help you in case you are into preaching, then you can focus on these points also. That these are the points which make people, because we came like that, so many others will also come like that. We feel, yeah, okay, regulated lifestyle, facilities in the voice. Okay, good facilities in the voice centers are there. And any other by which you came to Krishna consciousness. Okay, understanding purpose of life. Okay, understanding purpose of life. Dancing. Okay. So now, whatever reasons we have given here, there are certain things which I think many of us did not speak about. We generally, what all things you feel was skipped from this? Okay, certain points about okay, Abhijit Pro spoke about knowledge of absolute. Yeah, philosophy, getting satisfactory answers of the life. These are generally neglected. Nobody speaks about philosophy. Like you go to Utkarsh camp and Spurti camp, you ask people, what did you like, Prabhu, in the entire camp? Prabhu, people say, oh, Prabhu, that Goshala was very good. And dancing was very good. And Prasadam, Malpua, Rabdi was very good. And you ask people anything, this was very, because these are all secondary things which are observed, experienced. So people remember this one. But now let's start doing only these things. Just give people only this dancing, make people dance every day. Then make people only good prasadam every day. Only deal very sweetly with them. You feel that people transformation will not happen. So philosophy is considered like a proper medicine. Philosophy is a medicine. Although nobody likes medicine, only people like sweet above the medicine. But that philosophy has to be given. And when it is not given in a proper manner, like you see, Arjuna was not given a very systematic understanding. Arjuna felt that I did not get very systematic, structured. Now you give me structured. So many times devotees in preaching also they feel, okay, just give something, give class on something, Prabhu. Ultimately, people become devotees by not by philosophy. People don't become devotees. They just sweet अच्छा प्रसाद खिलाओ, अच्छा experience दो, कोई भी topic लो, experience दो, बस हो जाता है. अच्छा experience दो, बच्चा shift हो जाता है. And that may be true also. Sometimes experience may shift people, but later you will have the consequence also. So we have to give a systematic study. Like Arjuna is such a high qualified Vyakti, but he's also telling that I felt I did not get very systematic answers. I got confused. So that's why systematic training and education is very vital, so that all our doubts are clear. So Prabhupada is mentioning this point that Arjuna is telling here that please give me very proper understanding of this knowledge. Third one. And actually, when the knowledge and philosophy becomes very clear also, then what happens? So all the mental blocks which are there in the mind, which makes us reserved, that are very cleared. And we get a lot of confidence. And then we proceed ahead in the bhakti. So we should clear up our mental blocks which are there. Okay, third one. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Lokesmin Svidvidha Nishtha Pura Prokta Maya Naka Jnana Yogena Sankhyana Karma Yogena Yoginam. So Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. So he said there are two kinds of path. Yes, bro. Please read.
Translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, O sinless Arjuna, I have already explained that there are two classes of men who try to realize the self. Some are inclined to understand it by empirical philosophical speculation, and others by devotional service.
So two paths. One is Jnana and one is by Buddhi Yoga or devotional. Prabhupada is writing it as devotional service. So some are like Jnanis. Prabhupada did not speak directly Bhakti, Prabhupada mainly spoke about, Krishna spoke mainly about Jnana and Buddhi Yoga. Prabhupada refers Buddhi Yoga as devotional service. There are two kinds of people. Yes, Prabhupada.
In the second chapter, verse 39, the Lord explained two kinds of procedures, namely Sankhya Yoga and Karma Yoga or Buddhi Yoga. In this verse, the Lord explains the same more clearly. Sankhya Yoga, or analytical study of the nature of spirit and matter, is a subject matter for persons who are inclined to speculate and understand things by experimental knowledge and philosophy. The other class of men work in Krishna consciousness, as it is explained in the 61st verse of second chapter. The Lord has explained also in the 39th verse that by working by the principles of Buddhi Yoga or Krishna consciousness, one can be relieved from the bonds of action. And furthermore, there is no flaw in the process. The same principle is more clearly explained in the 61st verse, that is, Buddhi Yoga is to depend entirely on the Supreme, or more specifically on Krishna. And in this way, all the senses can be brought under control very easily. Therefore, both the yogas are interdependent as religion and philosophy. Religion without philosophy is sentiment or sometimes fanaticism, while philosophy without religion is mental speculation. The, the ultimate goal is Krishna, because the philosophers who are also sincerely searching after the absolute truth come in the end to Krishna consciousness. This is also stated in the Bhagavad Gita. The whole process is to understand the real position of the self in relation to the super self. The indirect process is philosophical speculation, by which gradually one may come to the point of Krishna consciousness, and the other process is directly connecting everything with Krishna in Krishna consciousness. Of these two, the path of Krishna consciousness is better because it does not depend on purifying the senses by a philosophical process. Krishna consciousness is itself the purifying process, and by the direct method of devotional service, it is simultaneously easy and sublime.
Yeah. So here, this is a very famous statement. I think in Why We Do What We Do section when we teach, we speak about this one. Very amazing statement of Srila Prabhupada. The John. Religion without philosophy is sentiment or sometimes fanaticism, while philosophy without religion is mental speculation. This is a very beautiful golden statement. Can somebody explain this, Prabhu? What is meaning of this? Religion without philosophy is just a sentiment. Anyone would like to try? What is meaning of this statement? That religion, what is meaning of religion and what is meaning of philosophy here? Yes, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu. Here, basically, we consider this as a principle and practice. So if we have some, good principle, but we don't practice that, so it is no use. And
Okay.
similarly, if we have, practicing something without having some good principle, so that is also of no use.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else would like to give some example to explain this?
Yes, Ruchi, like there are so many rituals, Ruchi, where perform on the villages, but they don't know the exact meaning of behind it or who said it, who told them. There is nothing like end and start of that activity.
Hmm.
You
Yeah,
see, but
yeah.
example of putting cat in the marriage was there.
Okay.
That
Can you please explain the example?
yeah. So once what happened? One person put a cat in the marriage. So he was asked, "Why are you putting cat in the marriage?" So he told that my father used to do like that, and my grandfather also used to do like that. So the thing was, many generations before there were many rats, and that's why they had to put the cat during the marriage. But they have made it like something which has to be followed generation by generation. So this is called following rituals without knowing any reason or philosophy behind it. This is sentimentalism.
Yeah. And we know the example. Sometimes now in the modern houses, the diya is not available. So if diya is not available, the agarbatti is not available, they will put a LED agarbatti, LED diya. ऐसे भगवान को जैसे कि दिया आप कुछ तो लाइट दिखाना पड़ता है, भगवान को अंधेरा अच्छा लगता नहीं है तो कुछ तो दिखाना पड़ता है, LED लाइट लगा देते हैं. Or when you there is no one to play mridang kartal, they put ready-made automatic drums, ding ding ding, just to make some sound. Just to make some sound is called as worship of the Lord. Just any sound will work. That is a that is basically what? It's a religion, but there is no philosophy. Now, can you give some example about philosophy without religion? Anyone would like to try? That there is a lot of philosophy, but no religion only.
Like Christians, like they have philosophy that thou shalt not kill,
Hmm.
but they don't follow.
Okay. Yeah,
Osho,
very
Guruji.
good. Huh?
Osho.
Okay, okay. We are not going to take any names, but yeah, Osho. Yeah, okay. He's died, so we can take his name now.
Yes,
Osho.
Guruji.
Yeah, okay.
Guruji,
Guruji,
Mayavadis.
about
Yeah, Mayavadi so much speak about this, but there is no practice in the terms of their religion means okay, they practice also, but there is no worship of the Lord in that way, devotional worship. Okay, any other?
Guruji, in so-called Christians, they say that thou shall not kill. In that they say that it is only for you. Animals can be killed, but humans cannot be killed. So soul is
Yeah,
only human soul. So this is speculation.
yeah, thou shall not murder हो गया हो, they shall not kill की जगह पे murder हो गया. Okay. So like there is a sometimes there are so many nowadays upcoming gurus on YouTube and all. They'll speak so many big philosophy, but it has no scriptural connection only. First of all, the philosophy itself has no scriptural connection only. So whatever they feel and whatever that comes to their mind, that is they speak. And okay, let's say somebody, the example of uh, what we say Pravachan ka Vanga. There is a very nice story of Pravachan ka Vanga. So once upon a time there was one sadhu, and he used to speak a very heavy dose. He used to speak a very heavy dose about why Vanga should not be taken. Vanga means brinjal. Brinjal. He was a Bengali maybe. He said brinjal should not be taken. Now in Bengal and Maharashtra also, brinjal is a very important food. If you see in the villages, brinjal is like a bread and butter for people. And he used to speak a heavy lecture on brinjal. Brinjal is Bengan matlab begun. Begun bilkul mat khao. So one day he was giving a katha, and this he was giving a katha, and that time his wife, means his wife was there, Kathakar's wife. He arranged the bhandara, and exactly he made brinjal ka sabji only. That time that was only there because that is the people like. So he made a brinjal ka sabji, and all people were eating, sitting. So this wife served prasadam to everyone except this Kathakar. So this Kathakar was not served the brinjal sabji. Then he asked, "Hey, why you are not serving me? Why you are not giving me that bengan?" We said, "No. You only told no. You told so many times. You keep on telling that bengan should not be taken. Bengan, begun. So I'm not giving you." So yeah, that was only pravachan ka banga. That is not pravachan means that is has to be spoken in the pravachan. That is not in actuality. So this is like philosophy is there, but there is no and this is example of philosophy without character. But now talking about philosophy without religion. Religion means good character. Means it has to come into practice, as Prabhu also said. It has to come into practice. So philosophy, like sometimes Prabhupada uses this word armchair speculators. You heard this word armchair speculators. आर्म चेयर स्पेकुलेटर में मतलब व्हाट मैं सोचा ये आर्म चेयर स्पेकुलेटर होता क्या है बाबा एकदम आर्म चेयर एंड स्पेकुलेटर मैं पता कर रहा था कि प्रोपर बहुत बार यूज करते हैं ऐसा वर्ड ही आर्म चेयर स्पेकुलेटर्स सो आई जस्ट थॉट मैं पता किया कि प्रोपर एक बार मैंने पूछा डिवोटिस को क्योंकि बहुत सारे ब्रिटिश वर्ड्स है ना आर्म चेयर स्पेकुलेटर्स तो आर्म चेयर स्पेकुलेटर्स बेसिकली ये होता है कि आर्म एंड चेयर जैसे आर्म आराम से बैठता है वो व्यक्ति चेयर के ऊपर और कुछ तो ऐसे मस्त सिगरेट दारू भी पीता है और सिगरेट दारू पिएगा चेयर पे बैठ के और सडनली वो विचार करेगा देखो यार दुनिया में कितना सब कुछ ऑटोमेटिक चल रहा है दुनिया में पानी बारिश आ रही है ये आ रहा है और बैठ के थोड़ा विचार करेगा और ये विचार करेगा और बाद में बोलेगा लगता है भगवान है देयर इज अ गॉड इन पिक्चर अदरवाइज कैसे काम कर सकता है सब कुछ और मेरा पेट में डाइजेशन हो रहा है ऑटोमेटिक डाइजेशन हो रहा है मैं खा रहा हूँ और डाइजेशन हो जा रहा है दैट मीन्स भगवान है ऐसा लग रहा है so he feels like that. But suddenly there will be war or there will be earthquake and many people will die. And he'll say, इतने सारे करोड़ों लोग मारे गए. I think there is no भगवान. So these are all called as mental speculators. Mental speculations मतलब खुद के मन पे जो आया है. So many times as a devotee, we also have this tendency. We also go into this tendency of a mental speculation. So Krishna is telling that both of these things are to be avoided. Prabhupada is writing here that philosophy without religion. So Arjuna misunderstood Buddhi Yoga to be Jnana. But here Krishna is saying no, that Buddhi Yoga is like Yukta Vairagya. You have to learn to use everything in service of Krishna. whatever talents, whatever energy, resources, everything, buddhi should be used in executing the orders of Krishna. That is called as buddhi yoga. Not that ki buddhi yoga is only jnana yoga. Buddhi yoga means use all your buddhi, mind, intelligence to follow what Krishna says. That is buddhi yoga, not what you want. So this was in the third. So basically Arjuna's inquiry is there about what is better, and Krishna is now trying to explain him that, oh, for you Krishna, for you Arjuna, karma yoga is better, nishkam karma yoga. So fourth one, न कर्मणाम् अनारम्भान् नैष्कर्म्यां पुरुषोऽश्नुते न च सन्न्यासनादेव सिद्धिं समाधिगच्छति.
Not by merely abstaining.
Yes, bro, go ahead.
Not by merely abstaining from the work can one achieve freedom from reaction, nor by renunciation alone can one attain perfection. Purport. The renounced order of life can be accepted when one has been purified by the discharge of the prescribed form of duties which are laid down just to purify the hearts of materialistic men. Without purification, one cannot attain success by abruptly adopting the fourth order of life, sannyas. According to the empirical philosophers, simply by adopting sannyas or retiring on the fruitive activities, one at once becomes as good as Narayana. But Lord Krishna does not approve this principle. Without purification of heart, sannyas is simply a disturbance to the social order. On the other hand, if someone takes to the transcendental service of the Lord, even without discharging his prescribed duties, whatever he may be able to advance in the cause is accepted by the Lord. Buddhi Yoga. Swalpam asya dharmasya trayate mahotu bhayat. Even a slight performance of such a principle enables one to overcome great difficulties.
So here, this is a very nice topic about renouncing work. That many people, there sometimes we get this desire, oh, let me give up, this is not good, let me give up my activities, this is not this is like this is going to create bondage for me, all so much work and all so much work which I have to do. So he's telling, not merely abstaining from work can one achieve freedom. Sometimes somebody very prematurely wants to take sannyas. He wants to take very prematurely, renounce everything, and want to so he feels that okay, by renunciation I'll attain perfection. But that is not the thing. All of us, like, can you just say, suppose that there is a new boy who comes to center, and he may start wearing a white, he may start wearing dhoti kurta also. He may start wearing dhoti kurta on the first day only. But you see, it is not just by wearing the dress, or it is not just by acting like a monk that you become a monk or something. No. First, one has to get purified by discharge of duties. Because we have to purify our hearts. So sometimes we think that form will give substance. For both are important. Form is also important, substance is also important. But sometimes people prematurely think that only if I imitate the form, I will get the substance also. And sometimes there are other people who think only substance is important, there is form is not at all important. So they will not never take form only. Both are interconnected. Means one should first the dress of a Vaishnava is also important, and along with the dress of Vaishnava, the activities of Vaishnava are also important. Just by wearing dhoti kurta, one will not become devotee, and just by so many times some devotees, like I was once a little I had gone to one of the voice centers, and many devotees were wearing only shirt pant in the morning program, all shirt pants. I was thinking, अरे why shirt pant only? तो ultimately dress जो है वो तो मतलब secondary है ना. Dress is like धोती कुर्ता until means it takes time also to wear dhoti kurta. Ultimately Krishna is bhavgrahi. Then there is no need of dress only. Means we can wear any dress. No, both are important. The dress will also force us to get a substance. But here, basically, Arjuna has one question. He thought that, okay, let me directly go to the fourth order of life, that is sannyas, because that is a perfection. So no, we have to perform our prescribed duties. We have to do our duties. That's why you see in our ISKCON centers also in Pune, like somebody who even wants to come for brahmacharya ashram and all. So it is not somebody is not abruptly taken. Sometimes so many people come in our temple and they say, actually, I want to join ashram. What is the method? And when we tell them you have to stay in voice centers 3-4 years, you have to work for 3-4 years. They said, why to do job at all? Why to go to company? I want to do bhakti and you are asking me to go for job and all. Do these things. First, get purified. First, get little experience of the world. Get purified by doing your duties, chanting. That is more important. And then, once you feel confident, then you join. Otherwise, a person. And another thing is, now my another question to all of you, like it is said in one shloka, na? Sannyas is forbidden, na? In Kali Yuga. Among there are different things which are forbidden in Kali Yuga. What all different things are forbidden in Kali Yuga? That this all things are not allowed in Kali Yuga. Which all things you know? Okay, brahmachari. Oh, brahmachari to compulsory, Prabhu. Brahmachari is not forbidden in Kali Yuga. Brahmachari is there in all the Yuga compulsory. Ashram. Okay. Animal sacrifices are forbidden. Okay. Any other? Shastric reference in case. So there are fourth. Yagya. Oh, no, 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 not sannyas. Okay, sannyas is forbidden. So there are certain things. There is one shloka. Kali Tyajet. So that is said, Gavalambam, sannyas is forbidden. Then Ashwamedh Yagya sacrifices is forbidden. Then producing child from Devar. In the Vedic times, and there was a method that some husband doesn't get a child, then he can get child from husband's brother also. That was so there are certain 4-5 things which are forbidden in Kali Yuga, and one thing which comes is polygamy. Polygamy is also not. Earlier it was there in earlier times, getting married more than one wives. But generally, as the Kali Yuga is progressing, it is there is no mention about polygamy in there, but it is practically seen. People are not able to maintain one only. So what to speak about polygamy? But according to Shastra, polygamy is not wrong. So here we find that sannyas is also forbidden. Now my question to all of you, if sannyas is forbidden, then why do Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas? Then why do Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur took sannyas? Why did Srila Prabhupada took sannyas? Why so many devotees are taking sannyas also if it is a forbidden thing in Kali Yuga? Okay, compassion, but it is forbidden. Na? It is isn't it going against Vedas? It is going against Vedas. It is not mentioned allowed in only in Kali Yuga. Okay, compassion towards Jiva. Okay, Sanket Prabhu is telling need only karma sannyas. Okay, Abhijit Prabhu, can you explain?
Yeah. If Miss Prabhupada is allowing to take sannyas, that means Superior Acharya is telling, then one can take it.
Okay, okay. What is the meaning of only karma sannyas? What is the meaning of that?
I mean, leaving the work like one's prescribed duty and joining like that sannyas is not allowed. So
Mhm.
what sannyas in bhakti we do, like we use the same work for Krishna consciousness.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. So actually, our sannyas is not that kind of sannyas. The sannyas which is being spoken here is giving up all activities, don't not engaging in any karmas only, and not activity and just doing meditation and mental this and that on that is jnana, philosophical speculation. That kind of sannyas is not allowed in Kali Yuga. That is not there only. So because karma sannyas is not allowed. So as a devotee does spiritualize all. So other you see sannyasis do much more work. Recently, our Guru Prasad Maharaj had come. He said, "My days are from morning 4:30 to night 10. So pack. One minute is pack." So that's why he said. So we are our sannyas is not that kind of sannyas which is being spoken. Our sannyas is a Vaishnava sannyas. As Karthik Pro is saying, we are Vaishnava sannyasis. Vaishnava sannyasis means they may do, a sannyasi may even sometimes run a tractor also. Now you may say, how sannyasi can run tractor? How sannyasi can do management? Or how sannyasi can even drive a four-wheeler car? Yeah, this is something surprising. How sannyasi can do this? For Krishna's service, he can do anything. It is a sannyasi in the consciousness. And as somebody saying, okay, people respect sannyasi and all. So our sannyas is not only related to our dress, it is a matter of mainly consciousness. And the dress is also there just for a preaching purpose. So there is not much difference between like a sannyasi and grahastha and this and all. But technically, Sannyasi is a higher order, so we respect sannyasi. We respect sannyasi. We have to respect sannyasi. But a grahastha may be million times more advanced also than brahmachari, sannyasi, or anyone. So there is no, because he has a mentality. Okay, do you have an example of how many of you know the example of this? Our what was the name of that person? Dhanurdas, no? Dhanurdas. What was the name of that? Yeah, this Shri Ramanuja, and Ramanuja Sampradaya. This person is there about Dhanurdas. And you know, earlier he was very attracted to the Mataji and Hemamba. He was very attracted to Hemamba. And then later he becomes a devotee, Hemamba becomes a devotee. And Ramanujacharya used to give more respect to this Dhanurdas and Hemamba also. And all sannyasis started feeling insecure. Are you are paying so much attention to Grihastha and we are all sannyasis? Then Prabhupada and then Ramanujacharya demonstrates to them that how he is much more advanced than all of you also. You although have taken the dress of sannyas, but you are attached to your kopin, gamcha, and dhoti and kurta, and they are being in grihastha, but they are in sannyasi consciousness also, much more. So, what sannyas is being spoken here is not just karma sannyas; it is about the attitude. So, here Arjuna is speaking about. So that's why we have to get purified by execution of prescribed form of duties. So we should not give up the duties which are important. Okay. Now, Krishna is telling, actually you cannot remain without performing work, not even for a moment. Even somebody is a gnani and all, actually it is impossible to remain without work. Even when you become a great devotee, pure devotee, you have to do some work because that is soul's active nature. It is the nature of a soul to do some work. How soul can remain idle? Soul is an active force. So he said, soul cannot remain idle. You have to do some work. Don't think that just you go to forest, you will be able to remain silent and all. You have to do some work. Nahi, nahi kaschit kshanamapi jatu teshtati akarmakrit कार्यते हि अवश्यः कर्म सर्व प्रकृति जैर गुणै.
Everyone is forced to act helplessly according to the qualities he has acquired from the modes of material nature. Therefore, no one can refrain from doing something, not even for a moment. Purport. It is not a question of embodied life, but it is a nature of the soul to be always active. Without the presence of the spirit soul, the material body cannot move. The body is only a dead vehicle to be worked by the spirit soul, which is always active and cannot stop even for a moment. As such, the spirit soul has to be engaged in the good work of Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, it will be engaged in occupations dictated by the illusionary energy. In contact with material energy, the spirit soul acquires material modes, and to purify the soul from such affinities, it is necessary to engage in the prescribed duties enjoined in the Shastras. But if the soul is engaged in his natural function of Krishna consciousness, whatever he is able to do is good for him. The Srimad Bhagavatam affirms, Tyaktva Swadharmam Charanam Bhujam Harer Bhajan Apakvo Atha Patet Tato Yadi Yatra Kva Vabhadram Abhud Amushakim Ko Vartha Apto Abhajatam Swadharmata. If someone takes to Krishna consciousness, even though he may not follow the prescribed duties in the Shastras or execute the devotional service properly, and even though he may fall down from the standard, there is no loss or evil for him. But if he carries out all the injunctions for purification in the Shastras, what does it avail him if he is not Krishna conscious? So the purificatory process is necessary for reaching this point of Krishna consciousness. Therefore, sannyas or any purificatory process is to help reach the ultimate goal of becoming Krishna conscious, without which everything is considered a failure.
Ultimate failure. It's a failure without which everything is a failure. So the main goal. So remember the goal. This is the goal that we want to reach to this point. of becoming Krishna conscious. Now, whatever is suitable for this, that should be done. And whatever is not suitable for this, that should not be done. Like for some people, how many of you believe out of sight is out of mind? How many of you feel? Now you can just raise your hands that for especially for you, you feel out of sight, something is out of sight, then you feel it is out of mind. And so for many distractions in this world, if something is not available, out of sight is out of mind, right now? So for many of us, it may be like that. But for some people, out of sight means more in mind. Means out of sight is too much in the mind. He becomes so disturbed, something is not there. He becomes like, how can this is not there? He cannot remain only. So that means he needs some purification of the work. सम पीपल आउट ऑफ साइट इज आउट ऑफ माइंड, वो नहीं है, चलो भाई थोड़ा थोड़ा मन डिस्टर्ब करता है लेकिन ठीक है, ज़्यादा अगर सेंस ग्रेटिफिकेशन का अपॉर्चुनिटी दिया तो फंस जाता है मन बार बार, तो ही वांट्स आउट ऑफ साइट. एंड फॉर सम पीपल if something is out of sight they become so restless, so so restless that they cannot function only. So here this example is given for purpose of that sannyas and purificatory. Sannyas, like for some people, sannyas may be okay. Out of sight is there. I am out of mind. Tension nahi hai. I remain focused. But for some people, if that is done, then you will meditate on this only. So they said that's why these two examples are given. Everyone is forced to act helplessly. So one cannot refrain from not doing anything, even for a moment. And Prabhupada is saying, in Krishna consciousness, no matter what you do, any kind of seva you do, like sometimes there are some devotees who are doing even construction. Sometimes some devotees are doing even management or technical, so many things are doing. But everything connected to Krishna is Krishna consciousness. So that's why uh, the renunciation in Krishna consciousness is a very different one. It is not one like going to Himalayas or becoming Naga Babas and all those things. It's a very different renunciation. Okay. Verse number 6. We'll just complete till verse number 7 or 8, and then we'll stop. Sixth one. One section will get over, and then we'll pause. कर्मेन्द्रियाणि संयम्य या आसते मनसा स्मरन् इन्द्रियार्थं विमूढात्मा मिथ्याचार स उच्यते. दिस इज अ वेरी डेंजर श्लोक. बोलने में भी डर लगता है और सब डिवोटी को भी डर लगता है क्योंकि इसमें वर्ड आता है मिथ्याचार. ये श्लोक पढ़ने के बाद सबको प्रश्न आता है कि क्या मैं मिथ्याचारी हूँ. सबको ये डर लगने लगता है, क्या मेरे बारे में बोल रहे हैं भगवान, मिथ्याचारी तो नहीं हूं मैं. अर्जुन को भी लगा, तो अर्जुन को बाद में भगवान बताएंगे तुम नहीं हो मिथ्याचारी, टेंशन मत लो. लेकिन हमें भी लगेगा ये पढ़ने के बाद, थोड़ा डरावना श्लोक है, राइट ना. तो व्हाट इज मिथ्याचार एंड व्हाट इज नॉट मिथ्याचार, we'll try to focus on this also in this shloka. What is mityachar? Okay, verse number 6 translation.
One who restrains the senses of action, but whose mind dwells on sense objects, certainly deludes himself and is called a pretender. There are many pretenders who refuse to work in Krishna consciousness but make a show of meditation while actually dwelling within the mind upon sense enjoyment. Such pretenders may also speak on dry philosophy in order to bluff sophisticated followers, but according to this verse, these are the greatest cheaters. For sense enjoyment, one can act in any capacity of the social order, but if one follows the rules and regulations of his particular status, he can make gradual progress in purifying his existence. But he who makes a show of being a yogi while actually searching for the objects of sense gratification must be called the greatest cheater, even though he sometimes speaks of philosophy. His knowledge has no value because the effects of such a sinful man's knowledge are taken away by the illusory energy of the Lord. Such a pretender's mind is always impure, and therefore his show of yogic meditation has no value whatsoever.
Yeah, just Can you please read once, Prabhu, this one?
Krishna tells Arjuna that if work is renounced without adhikar, the qualification or requisite purity of heart, his mind will dwell on sense objects because his heart is not yet pure. He will delude himself thinking, I am a renunciant. The Sanskrit word for false actor is mithyachar. Mithya means false and achar means activities. Krishna is saying, your activities will not match your renounced dress and you will be a pretender. Such a person is not qualified to receive the Lord's mercy. Not only Arjuna, but all of us should act according to our eligibility. As Arjuna learned of his eligibility from his spiritual master, we should similarly understand our own eligibility from our Guru. Krishna next compares an attached sannyasi and a detached householder.
तो बहुत डरावना श्लोक है प्रभु. So यहाँ पे जो वर्ड आ रहा है, that is called as मिथ्याचार. So what is the meaning of word this mithyachar? See, we know mithyachar. Mithyachar means what? Mithya. It's a false achar. Mithya. Mithya means false, and achar means false behavior. So whatever a behavior is doing is a false behavior. Now let's try to see something about this word mithyachar. So one meaning of word mithyachar is that his behavior doesn't match the respect or position he is commanding or demanding. Mithyachar. Understood this one? That his position, his behavior doesn't match the position he is commanding. That is called as mithyachar. So if you see here, so this is a in short. Now let's how to understand if we are mithyachari or not. How to understand that if we are mithyachari, that we only can understand. Okay, Prabhu, can you just give some tips? Anyone would like to contribute? How to know that are we mithyachari? Mithyachari means there is a hypocrisy in my dealings. Hypocrisy means you understand what is meaning of hypocrisy. Hypocrisy means words and the words and your show of life doesn't match the internal consciousness and habits. That is a hypocrisy, suppose. So now how to understand that I am mithyachari or not? Okay, anyone like to tell? You can write in chat box or speak up also. That are we mithyachari or not mithyachari? When somebody should be considered mithyachari and when not? We are not following what we are speaking. When one isn't following the instructions Vivek Prabhu is telling, then it's called as mithyachari. My God, there are so many instructions of Guru Maharaj which I am not following or struggling to follow. Then I am mithyachari. Gaya. Achar and prachar is not the same. I took device also. I spoke about device 2, device 3, device 4. I spoke about philosophy of Gita, but I am still doubtful that I am also following or not. Then how to preach only? Okay, anyone would like to say? It's not
Yes,
matching
Prabhu.
only. Yes, Proji.
So if someone is not, honest to, himself, means he's not putting 100% effort on whatever he has. So that also we can consider as a mithyachari.
Okay, okay.
So
Anyone
probably
else?
when one feels the guilt or when one understands that these things is prohibited, but still we are doing that, that is also the state of Vidya.
Now let's say somebody is too much troubled by anarthas now. Somebody is too much troubled by anarthas and is forced to do act in a wrong manner again and again by anarthas. And he keeps on committing mistakes again and again. But still he wants to wear dhoti kurta and still he chants. So now what do you say? Whether he's a mithyachari or no?
As you
No.
only spoke, Prabhuji, in second chapter, we are sadhaka. So
Okay.
that Radha Shankar also always mentioned that repentance and lamentation. So it should be always repentance, not lamentation.
Okay. Yes, Kaushik Prabhu would like to enlighten us.
Prabhuji, one who intentionally does, he is a mithyachari. Because of anarthas, if it is happening, then he is not a mithyachari. It is because of his lower nature. But if he know what is right and what is wrong, and intentionally he is doing wrong, then he is mithyachari.
This is a clear-cut hypocrite. This is a clear-cut hypocrite. He enjoys on those wrong activities. He enjoys doing a drama of this. That is a mithyachari. And now somebody struggled because as his sadhaka is in struggling, but he's honest about his behavior. As somebody said, he's honest. It is not that he's making a show that I'm a very great personality, I'm a very sense controlled sage. He is humble enough to know, Prabhu, I'm a very struggling fellow and my senses are not in my control. But I want to please and serve Vaishnavas. That is the only hope for me. Mithyachari means he wants to get respect, he wants to command or demand the respect which is not meant for. That is Mithyachar. But somebody is humble enough and struggling, then he should not be considered as mithyachari. He's a sincere and honest person. He's a sadhaka. He's struggling. So that is not mithyachar. But mithyachar means when he starts delighting, making a show of his life. Now, sometimes the guilt is such a thing that takes person to different extremes. Like I remember once upon a time, one devotee, he said ki Prabhu, I am a mithyachari Prabhu, he said. Actually, I'm a Mithyachari, he said. And better why to practice Krishna consciousness only? Like although I practice I practice chanting for so many years. I did bhakti for so many years, but I see that there is not much change in my life. I am still people are considering me like a devotee. People are thinking that I'm a very good devotee, dhoti kurta, tilak, service attitude. They glorify me on my birthday festival so much, and then may make me like a great personality. But I know what I am inside. I am not at all the way the devotees are expecting me. Then better to be honest, na Prabhu. Better remain honest. Why to show and that I am a great bhakta? Let me remain materialistic person only. Anyway I'm not a good devotee. Later then why to cheat people by saying whatever it is there, let me become materialistic only. So this is another way which mind takes a person. Either I will become a good, very good devotee, or I will become a materialistic only. That is the way sometimes the mind cheats a person and drags a person. Once one devotee started telling, actually, when he met me and he said, Prabhu, if I cannot be a devotee, then what is use of practicing? I am trying so much. Let me follow the karma yoga path and karma this path only. I'm trying, but I'm not able to practice bhakti yoga properly. So let me do all those things and let me get sufficient kicks of Maya, and then come. Yeah, but it is a very, 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 very troublesome and long path. So we should understand the right understanding of this for mithyachari. Otherwise, we may give up Krishna consciousness only. That I'm mithyachari. So the main is one is honest, and one thing is one another word which is being mentioned here is what is right course of action and what is not right course of action for a person. How we should understand that whether what for what adhikar one is qualified or not, like that should be known from a guru. One should inquire from guru that whether I have this adhikar to do this or not. So Guru can tell us very clearly, okay, Prabhu, this is so we should be honest. Prabhu, this is the difficulty which I am facing in my life. What do you think? What adhikar I am qualified for? Am I qualified for am I qualified for sannyas? Or do you feel I should engage in karma or what I should do? So every one thing is all gurus will tell us to do bhakti only. There is nothing karma, jnana and all this. But a guru or devotee will guide us. What is our adhikar? We should clearly go and ask. Somebody is very confused. What is my adhikar? And one need not be a pretender that these are the set of difficulties which I am facing. And so what is my adhikar? One should clearly ask. Yes, bro.
Like here it is mentioned as Arjuna learned of his eligibility from his spiritual master. So sometimes now we are in voice or we are in different zone. So sometimes we get the seva that we feel don't we are not eligible. But superiors may have faith and they may have like confidence that he will do. So sometimes it looks like the eligibility part is not clear from the this sadhaka side, but from the superior side it is clear. So
Like,
it is okay.
like you see, there was a devotee disciple of Srila Prabhupada, Sudama Prabhu. And Sudama Prabhu, that time Srila Prabhupada asked, who would like to go to Japan and preach? Nobody raised the hand. Nobody raised the hand. Everyone knew Japan is like a hub of Maya. And anyone who will go there, naturally, sannyasi and brahmachari, if he goes to Japan, he will just fall down like anything. Prabhupada asked, anyone would like to go? And Sudama Prabhu said, Guruji, this is my conditioning. You know me better. You know me better. What all anarthas I have. I have told you my difficulties. What all the difficulties I have. Still you want? I am ready to go. I am ready to go if you want. So he said, no, you go. And then we know, unfortunately, because he actually fell down also. He had a lot of difficulty. He could not maintain the sannyas. But Prabhupada said, anyone who will go to Japan, I will come and protect him. That was a task which Srila Prabhupada gave. So, but we know he was on the last days. He was in a he had a cancer and he was going through so much tough time. And just about when he was about to leave the body, suddenly he got up and he said, Srila Prabhupada, you came to protect me, and he left. He left the world. So you see, because he obeyed the instructions of Guru. So many times in our temple also, like Radhesham Prabhu certain times may ask this seva, Prabhu, can you do this? Let's say suppose congregation preaching. And we may tell Prabhu, you know my conditionings, or you may know that these are the difficulties which I am facing. You feel okay, then I can do. He said, no problem. You can go ahead. Then just go ahead. And in case you still feel difficulty, report. And they may say, okay, go ahead still, no problem. Then we can do. But if they tell, so best is to be honest always. Whether we have taken service also, after taking service also, we can be always honest that, okay, this is my situation. What do you feel? So we can be honest and reporting. So good accountability and good honesty is a key to success. We can always report. And sometimes we may underestimate our capacity also. We may think, Prabhu, I am so fallen. Like there are certain occasions in my personal life also, we may think I am very fallen, this, so many difficulties are there. But superiors will tell you, oh Prabhu, don't imagine to be pure devotee so soon. Don't imagine you are okay qualified. They will tell you also, Prabhu, don't think that you have to be such a high level, especially in our ISKCON Pune scenario is like a very high standards are there. Means like one devotee was not taking initiation after 15 years also. बोला अरे क्या हो गया? He started feeling I'm not qualified, I'm not yet pure enough, I'm not qualified. And other places many times people get initiation in 1 year only. And this person is struggling from 15 year में. मैं उसको पूछा भी क्या हो गया भाई, तुम 4 नियम फॉलो नहीं कर पाते हो क्या? तो नहीं करता हूँ ना प्रभु। फिर मैंने बोला क्या हो गया, 16 माला नहीं होता क्या? नहीं प्रभु जी होता है ना, 25 माला हो जाता है, 20 माला हो जाता है। मैं बोला फिर वो प्रॉब्लम क्या है इनिशिएशन में? तो बोले नहीं वो अंदर से ना अभी तक ऐसा एकदम ये नहीं आया है, जील नहीं आया है, ये नहीं आया है, एकदम कॉन्फिडेंस नहीं आया, ये नहीं आया। बोला प्रभु वो आएगा, वो आएगा जीवन में, जब आएगा तब भगवान की कृपा से। समटाइम्स वी मे बी वेरी humble enough and sometimes we may be very underestimating ourselves also, too much underestimating. So we should best is to clarify and be honest. Honesty is the best policy in the matter of knowing our adhikar. So we can reveal after taking seva that Prabhu, I'm doing this seva, but are you okay with this? This is the challenge which I am facing. And if I say no, no, you better change the seva. Then Guru, the same person who gives seva may change your seva also if you are very honest. So honesty is the best thing. I hope that answers your question, Prabhu. Okay.
Yes,
Any
please.
other question, Prabhu? About this word of mithyachar. Okay, somebody has written question in chat box. My guru said, my superior said, even if we fall down, Krishna says, Krishna sees that we have given a prime life for Krishna. What is the loss? Even in material life, we take risks. So why not for Krishna? Okay. So Sanket Prabhu would like to give some purport to this.
Yes, please.
Okay. So Sanket Prabhu would like to give some purport to this. Okay. So Sanket Prabhu would like to give some purport to this. Okay. So Sanket Prabhu would like to give some purport to this. Okay. So Sanket Prabhu would like to give some purport to this. Okay. So Sanket Prabhu would like to give some purport to this. Okay. So Sanket Prabhu would like to give some purport to this. Okay. So Sanket Prabhu would like to give some purport to this. Okay. So Sanket Prabhu would like to give some purport to this. Okay. So Sanket Prabhu would like to give some purport to this. Okay. So Sanket Prabhu would like to give some purport to this. Okay. So Sanket Prabhu would like to give some purport to this. Okay. So Sanket Prabhu would like to give some purport to this. Okay. So Sanket Prabhu would like to give some purport to this. Okay. So Sanket Prabhu would like to give some purport to this. Okay. So Sanket Prabhu would like to give some purport to this. Okay. So Sanket
No, actually, the last time Radhesham Prabhu gave lecture in Vajram Voice about choosing ashram. So there he clarified many points about who should join and then means why, which ashram to choose. So regarding that, this Mithyachaar, that someone who is pretending some else, but internally he has many others. And as you clarified that he's enjoying that duplicit behavior. But even if we know sometimes that we are not qualified to, we know what we are internally, and even if we still are honest, but uh, that again comes to the point that even if we are honest, still we may face many difficulties while going forward. So I asked my superior, and he said that even in material life, people take risks. So why not for Guru and Krishna? That anyways.
Actually, one thing is, we have to understand what is fall down and what is not fall down clearly, Prabhu. So, first of all, unfortunately in ISKCON, this means especially we are in such a very nice training environment. Na? So first of all, recently our Bhakti, some of you attended the class, some of you might have attended the class by Bhakti Prem Maharaj. Bhakti Prem Maharaj recently gave one class, very beautiful class, very, very beautiful class. So this is the evergreen question for many people about choosing ashram, which ashram I am suitable for or not. Or so Maharaj asked one question, which ashram all of you want to join? Then devotee said Brahmacharya ashram. Then Maharaj asked question, which ashram currently you are in? So devotee had a question, "Hey, which ashram I am in now? So some people said, no idea only which ashram I am in now. I am not neither a brahmachari. So Maharaj said, currently we are in Duracharya ashram. New ashram Maharaj introduced, Duracharya ashram. Duracharya. I am currently only Durachar. There is no brahmachar, only Durachar. So first of all, he said, he very clarified. Actually, this is not a ideally everyone is a brahmachari only. Somebody remains brahmachari for 25 years, somebody 30, 30, 35, 40, 50. Brahmachari is, Grihastha is also a good brahmachari only because he's focusing on, brahmachari means mainly focusing on Brahman activities, that is spiritual activities. That Brahma achariti brahmachari, that is the definition of brahmachari. It is not just that somebody getting married, not married, that is not the definition of brahmachari. Now, Maharaj said one very powerful point also. He said, Maharaj humbly said, one point, remember what Maharaj said humbly? He took a very humble role and he said, now I am already 58 years old or 60 years old now. Let's see if I may fall down now. If I fall down right now at 60 age, Maharaj said, people will criticize, people will make fun of me, people will say, अरे सन्यासी था, चला गया, सन्यासी आया था, चला गया. And but if you see, last 50 years I enjoyed Krishna consciousness. What I did chanting, I did reading, I did hearing, I did bhajan, I did japa, I did this. And after 60 years also, it is not that I'm going to do something very wrong. I'm going to just, the dress is going to change, Maharaj said. And I'm just going to continue bhakti also. Hardly 10, 15 years, 10, 20 years are remaining in my life now, he said. So in that way, a superior might have told about risk and all. So first of all, this is not a transiting from brahmachari to grihastha is not considered a fall down, Prabhu. This is a wrong understanding. Because actually fall down in consciousness. If someone gives a bhakti, that is a fall down. Otherwise, this is not a fall down. This all considerations of should not be considered as a fall down much. Change of ashram and all. It's nothing. Just dress changing. Can we just consider somebody to be fallen? Has he given up his practice of chanting? Has he given up his four agate principles? Has he given up his worship of Guru and following instructions? So this all dress, sannyas is mainly there for preaching purpose. Sannyas ashram and all. Preaching and engaging full mind in Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, all this dress are not immaterial. So your superior said, no, even if you fall down. So first of all, fall down मतलब अगर आप 16 माला कर रहे हो, ये रिस्क कभी मत लेना. ऐसा कोई सेवा कभी मत लेना जिससे 16 माला छूट जाए और 4 नियम टूट जाए. बाकी ड्रेस वेस चेंज हो वो आपका ऊपर है. लेकिन 16 माला और ये जो है, ये अगर छूट रहा है तो ऐसा रिस्क कभी नहीं लेना कि प्रभु मैं अगर कोई मुझे बोलता है प्रभु अमेरिका जाके प्रीचिंग करो, ये मेरे गुरु ने बोला, तुम फॉल डाउन भी हो जाओगे चलेगा. बोला प्रभु 2-3 बार और क्लैरिफाई कर लेना 10-15 लोगों से, तो मेरा माला छूटने वाला है प्रभु, मैं अमेरिका जाऊंगा तो चलेगा क्या? और वो बोलता है हाँ छूट जाएगा तो भी चलेगा. तो और 10-15 लोगों से क्लैरिफाई करना. जनरली ऐसा कोई बोलेगा नहीं आपको. मतलब प्रभुपाद ने वो रिस्क लिया, प्रभुपाद के पास क्षमता था ऐसा लेने का सुदामा प्रभु को बोलने के लिए, लेकिन इन जनरल कोई ऐसा नहीं बोलेगा. तो 16 माला 4 नियम और ये अगर ये टूट रहा है तो फिर we can clarify with others. Otherwise, life is about risk only. Hari bol. So I think time is already up, Prabhu. So we'll continue next time. So we have complete 6 verses. Vote Mithyachar. Hare Krishna. So we'll meet you next week. Hari bol. What, Prabhu? Yes, Prabhu? Someone said something? Okay.